Well, mate, congratulations on a great performance. Was that kind of how you expected the fight to play out?
Thank you, brother. Yeah, I think when we game planned for a full 8 weeks, we knew what it was going to take to beat him. It was going to take everything we had, and I felt like it worked out just the way that we thought it was. I thought he would there'd be a point where I'd be able to catch him with a submission or fully take his back or anything like that, but he had no break in him.
You showed some great work on the feet as well. There's a couple of great 1-2 combinations. Were you sort of, I think people going into this kind of thought it would be grappling versus striking, but did you know you were able to hang with him on the feet?
Yeah, I don't know where I got that stigma that I'm only a grappler. I was getting people like, oh, this guy, all he does is wrestle. I'm like, bro, I was going against Wonder Boy, like the best kickboxer in the division. I'm not going to kickbox with Wonder Boy. I've struck in like 90% of my other UFC fights. I knew that my striking can compete with the best in the division. It was just like, when I have to use it, I'll use it. I leveled up training for a guy like Wonder Boy because, you know, when you're training for a striker like that, you do a lot of striking. So that was going to be my plan B against Wonder Boy. I didn't have to use it. Plan A worked.
I think, you know, we spoke about this the other day at Media Day, that the division's been like top heavy, like guys won't take fights and let other people sort of crack that top 3 or 4. Do you think this is the one that gets you up there, gets you those names like Colby Covington, I know you called out?
Who's the only one in the division with a better run than I am on? Like, I'm literally fighting Maya, Wonder Boy, Luque. Like, who's Colby fighting? Colby's fighting guys off of 2 losses in a row. Who's Leon fighting? Leon's fighting 55ers. Like, none of these guys are fighting the contenders in the division. None of these guys had the guts to do that. I'm the one that's going through 5-4, 3-2-1. I'm the one that's saying yes to the toughest in the division. Like, Leon may have more wins than me, but he doesn't have the quality of wins that I have.
I was going to ask you if you felt that you had a better record than him, and considering he's about to fight for the title.
I do. I don't think he deserves to fight for the title. I think that I do. I think he got that Dana White privilege. But, you know, whatever. Like I said, I don't expect to be handed anything. I have to fight for everything I got, and I'm willing to keep doing that.
What's your plans going forward? I know that you were fasting, and I was curious actually, how did that affect you in the fight, or were you able to just power through? How did that play out?
Yeah, no, it was after the night, so we were good. So, like I said, I've been doing this for forever, and alhamdulillah, God's blessed me. God's put me through here, so we're good. I honestly think this is going to help me out because, you know, after your fight, you have the 3 or 4 days of just eating trash. So now tomorrow when I wake up and I have to fast, it's going to be like your body's going to be like, all right, now relax a little bit. So I think that I'm going to be lighter after this fight than I normally am because I'll just be home all week just eating trash the whole time. So now I have to wait till sundown. I'm just going to have a little bit of trash.
That's cool. When would you like to get in there again?
Honestly, I just want to stay busy. I want to stay, like I said, I don't expect to be given anything, so I'm expecting maybe July. I had 5 fights in 15 months, so just want to stay active. Hopefully I get a couple more desk jobs so I can stay in Vegas, stay in the limelight and do some other things, but I'm in the gym all the time.
At this point, though, you're sort of reaching that point where you have to wait for the right fight, right? You can't just keep like fighting guys ranked below you or ranked around you. At some point, you're going to have to get one of those bigger names. Is that something you think about, or you just think activity will trump waiting around for the fight?
No, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of guys above me that don't have fights. And honestly, I don't even think Leon has a fight. Like, they're saying Usman, but I just don't think Usman's ready for that yet. So I think that unless Leon's going to wait all the way until September, October, like, it just doesn't make sense. I think that fight would make sense, but you know what? You guys are going to post a headline, he wants to fight Leon, and then the fans are going to be like, oh, he's such a crybaby, poking the eye, blah, blah, blah. So I don't even want to call him out because I don't want to offend anybody. So like I said, the 2 best guys that are above me that are winning right now are Hamzat and Colby, and neither one of them have fights.
I'll make the headline that you called out Colby instead.
Yeah, that'll be a better headline.
Gotcha.
Colby, the coward, Karen. You could just make that the headline.
I'll figure it out. Thank you.
Bully, don't curse.
If they did make that pairing that some people were saying that would be Colby and Hamzat, would you wait for the winner of that fight or the title? Would those be the only 2 matchups that you think you would wait for?
Honestly,
or would you rather stay busy?
I'd rather stay busy. If the title fight's going to happen in July, I want to be on that card. Like, with Leon's luck, his fights get canceled every other day. So I would assume that something will happen where he'll trip on a wire or something, and then I'll step in and fight Usman.
And I know we talked about how this was a rematch, but so much time had taken place since the last time they fought. But did it feel any different to remove that loss because it was so long ago, or was it you don't even think about it at this point because it was just so long ago and you were so different.
No, I was lying, man. The whole time I was thinking about it, I was thinking about that fight the whole time. It never gets out of your head. When you get you're only lost by finish. It never leaves you. So, I was talking a big game, but I was thinking about it, and I was like, is his first punch that's gonna land gonna knock me out, and is his first punch that's gonna land gonna hurt me, and it didn't. So that showed me that I am tough enough to be with these guys. I do got a chin. I am man enough to be in this top 5.
So were you carrying those thoughts in your head tonight as you were going into the cage?
No, like in the cage tonight, it was like having my team around me, having those guys. They keep me level-headed. Where it's like when I was at my hotel room, I was sitting there thinking about it, overthinking about it, getting stressed out a little bit, and then I worked so hard for this fight. I worked so hard for it, so it gets you emotional. And then they're like, bro, relax, like, chill out. There's like whatever's gonna happen. Being religious, like God's plan is bigger than my plan, no matter what. So like I leave it in the hands of God. Like I did everything I could do. I trained as hard as I could. I ran as hard as I could. I dieted the best I could. I did everything. So now it's just like whatever God has in store for me, I know that His plan is bigger than my plan.
So at what point in the fight did that sort of settle into? Did you settle down? Was it after you finally took a couple punches, or is it just after maybe even that first round where you just felt like, okay, we're here, I'm in this, and that you felt like you were starting to push the pace and control it?
Yeah, it was after the first round. I had to get through that first round. I was like, let's get through this first round. We didn't make it out of the first round in the first fight. I felt his best punch in that first fight. He didn't feel my best punch in that first fight. Like I didn't show him anything in that first fight. So getting past that first round, it's like, all right, let's go now.
And I know you want people to give you more respect on your hands, but you are getting a lot of respect. And Daniel and those guys were giving you a lot of respect for your ground game when you're on top. Do you think you have some of the best top game when you're on the ground?
I think I do. I think that a lot of people underestimate me everywhere. They don't think that I'm as strong as I am. I'm not from Dagestan. I don't have cauliflower ears, so they don't expect my grappling to be as good. They don't expect me to be as fast as some of these guys. They don't expect me to be as strong as some of these guys. But when I'm in there and they feel my pressure, they feel my will, my heart, my willpower, I'm above all of them.
Did anything sort of surprise you out there from him? Maybe even in the sense that you were so prepared that you were surprised that he wasn't effective in a certain area that you maybe thought he was going to be more effective?
Honestly, it was just weird because I got a lot of respect for Henry Hooft. And like I've been to the gym, I trained at the gym before. So like hearing Henry Hooft's corner against me, I was just like, come on, Henry, that's what we're on right now. It was like heartbreaking. But no, like I knew what he was going to bring. Like he brings that forward pressure. He's very good at switching stances. I just had to keep moving. I didn't want to stand in front of him and bang. So like I knew even if I landed something good, it was like I know he's gonna come back with 2 or 3 more right after that. So our whole game plan was, all right, hit and move, hit and move, hit and move. Like we're not gonna be there for a brawl. We're gonna be there to win.
So even with having a dominant, good performance, are there things that you're still going to go back and say, guys, we need to work on this, on this? Is there anything that you really think that you need to focus on?
Yeah, I mean, it just goes back to, I want that finish. I need that big finish. I had a couple moments on the ground where I thought he was going to give up the back, and I was going to take advantage of that and go for a choke. That we were planning on that the whole time. But like little tweaks here and there, I think it's going to come. And, a lot of people give me flack on that, like, oh, he needs to be finishing fights, blah, blah, blah. But it's going to come at the right moment. It's going to come at the right time. Like it's happened with the champions, Kamaru, Khabib, like all them guys. Like they had those times where people were like, oh, these guys don't finish. And then all of a sudden, bam, back-to-back finishes. I think it's going to be the same way.
And last for me, and I don't know if you even got a chance to really watch the fights while you're back in their preparation. There were a couple weird fouls tonight that ended fights. I don't get your thoughts on whether things are said they're not intentional and all this other sort of thing. It was just some weird finishes on fights.
We were literally arguing about that back there. I'm like, bro, like all these guys are like, you're winning the fight, and then you do an illegal move, and then all of a sudden, all right, the fight's over, and that guy ends up losing, but you did the illegal move. So I'm like, how did Peter Yan lose his belt at that time? So I'm like, if you win the first 2 rounds, you can do something illegal, then all of a sudden it'll go to the judge's scorecard. Like, that really didn't make sense to me. I think that's gonna make them do some sort of rule changes or something like that. But like Dominic Cruz said, like, how do you judge the intention of it? Like, you're saying, oh, it wasn't intentional, but the dude threw the knee to the head when he was on the ground. Like, you got to know those things. I don't care if you're seeing red or not. Like, there's rules, so you got to beat those rules. And those guys, I don't know, it didn't make no sense. The fight before me, I was sitting there like, bro, this is taking forever. What's going on? And then I saw it. I'm like, that's an illegal knee. How's he still winning?
Appreciate the feedback. Congrats on the victory.
Thank you, bro.